Thomas. I'm at the kitchen at the beautiful Splashes restaurant in Laguna Beach at the Surf and Sand Hotel. And with me is executive chef Lewis Butler. And Lewis makes a fantastic autumn-style salad. And the vinaigrette's really terrific. Tell me about it.
Yeah, wait till you see this, Cathy. We're going to take butternut squash.
Right.
We're going to use that as a puree. That's going to be the base of our vinaigrette.
Ah, how gorgeous. And how do we start?
So we just take the butternut squash here.
Right.
You could peel it off all the way if you want, but
Right.
this is the fastest and easiest way.
And you know, I like to do it fast and easy.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So you're just cutting it in half lengthwise.
Cutting in half, and then we don't need all this membrane and the seeds. We're going to scoop those out.
Right, and if you wanted to keep those seeds and roast them, you could use those as a garnish on the salad.
Definitely.
Terrific.
So we're just going to scoop them out.
Right.
There's one. Get a little workout while you're doing it as well.
Yeah.
There's two. And spray it with a little bit of olive oil.
Right, and if you didn't have your olive oil in a sprayer, I suppose you could just rub it on.
Just rub it on with your
Right.
hands, just like that.
And then a little salt and pepper.
A little salt.
Kosher salt.
Kosher salt.
Black pepper.
Then we're going to flip them upside down so they caramelize on the bottom of the cookie pan.
Ah, yeah. And so you're not going to line this with anything. You want that heat.
You want the pan to get hot and caramelize it. If you put the sheet of paper, you're not going to get the caramelization.
So you're going to just roast that off until the flesh is real tender.
That's it, until you can squeeze it. And
about how long does that take?
About 40 minutes for these guys.
Right.
Half an hour to 40 minutes at 350.
Terrific. So then what happens next for our vinaigrette?
So once they're cooked, and it's probably 40 minutes maybe at 350, until you can stick a knife in and it goes in real easy.
Oh, that looks beautiful. You've got some
good?
nice caramelization here, don't you?
We got some there, a little bit here. We're going to take our blender and we're just going to scoop out the cooked butternut squash.
Right.
It just comes out real easy.
It's a beautiful color, isn't it?
It is one of my favorite colors.
Right, and I think butternut has an exceptionally nice flavor.
It's very clean, very light flavor. So the recipe calls for half a butternut squash.
Right.
Probably like 3/4 of a cup. We're going to put some water in because we don't want it too thick.
Right.
The puree is going to make it really thick. We're going to put that on our blender.
And what comes next?
We're just going to put everything in but the oil.
Right.
So we've got the champagne vinegar, and you can use sherry vinegar or rice wine vinegar. You just want something that's not too strong, not too sweet as well. Some maple syrup.
That's going to give us a nice sweetness, isn't it?
It's going to give it sort of like a sweet and sour flavor.
Right.
And then we're going to turn the blender on slowly.
And you're using a super duper blender here, but you can do this in any kind of blender.
Any kind of blender. Even a food processor, but a blender is going to give you a more fine puree. And we're just going to let that go. We're going to slowly add our olive oil to it.
So with the motor running, you're going to add that in a thin stream?
That's it.
Sounds easy so far.
And you see the dressing's getting thicker as we put the oil in?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I don't like to use any eggs as emulsifier other than Caesar dressings.
Right.
I like to try and keep it as natural as possible.
So you're putting in a little kosher salt?
A little kosher salt.
And a little freshly ground black pepper?
A little ground black pepper. And I think we're done with the... You want to taste it?
Oh.
Look at the consistency,
the color.
It's
beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, so you've got some beautiful, hard, dry cured.
That's it, dry cured. So we want to get it as thin as possible, and if you don't have a slicer at home, you want to do it with a knife. So that's why I'm breaking it down so you can
so you get a flat edge.
That's it, you get a flatter edge, and then you've got less circumference to try and cut.
Right, I see that.
So that's what we're going to do.
That's a good trick.
And we're just going to
So that's almost paper thin, isn't it?
You want it as thin as possible, like bacon.
Right.
I mean, the thicker it is, the longer it's going to take to dry out.
It's almost as thin as prosciutto, isn't it, at this point? And so you've lined this with little parchment paper.
Because sometimes it will stick. So.
And it's important to put them in a single layer.
You don't
not crowd them.
That's it.
And that's going to go into what
about 300 to 350 again. Just keep an eye up, it's 350. But you just want to cook it crispy like bacon.
Okay.
So this is what it's going to look like when it's done.
And these are nice and crispy at this point,
That's
aren't
right.
they?
You want to get it crispy, and then you want to let it cool just a little bit. Otherwise, so then all the fat hardens.
Right.
And then we're going to take just a spice grinder or a coffee grinder.
Right.
And if you have a really good blender, you can do it in your blender as well.
But the spice grinder gets it really into a fine powder, doesn't it?
That's it. So
All
we're just
right.
going to load it up. Just shake it around a little bit.
You're showing it who's boss there, I can tell. Oh,
And you want
it's
it
beautiful.
as fine as possible.
And it almost looks like paprika at this point.
That's it. Well, there's paprika inside it as well. This I made a little while earlier, and see how well it keeps.
Oh, that's gorgeous. So I'll help you clear the decks here a little bit, and let's do the salad.
Yeah, we're going to toss this salad up. We've got a bowl, a mixing bowl. We've got our toasted pumpkin seeds. And as you were asking earlier, can you use different kinds of nuts? Definitely. You can use sliced almonds.
Right. Pistachios.
Pistachios would be nice, a little sweetness in there.
Right.
I just kept pumpkin because it sounds really sexy on the menu, and it's that time of year.
Right. So you've got some beautiful mixed greens here. Most of them appear to me to be baby lettuces.
We've got some little baby lettuce, some watercress in here, and regular mixed greens. We're going to take our butternut squash dressing. I like to just spoon it on. This way you can control how much you're putting in.
Right. You just want to get enough to lightly coat the leaves.
That's it. Just
Give
so
it a nice
together.
toss.
We're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper because that will make it pop. The salt will make the dressing pop a little bit more.
And you really haven't used that much dressing.
No, I used about 2 tablespoons.
Right.
So this is a single serving.
That's going to go on the plate.
On the plate.
It's really lovely.
Nice and fresh and light. And the reason doing the prosciutto dust as well is you're not using as much as if you were just putting a couple of slices on it. And so calorie-wise as well, you're going to get the total flavor of the prosciutto without using like 4 or 5 strips, which you would normally do. So I'll sprinkle it around and maybe a little bit on the plate as well so you can see it.
Gorgeous.
I'm just going to give it a little saltiness as well. Your pumpkin seeds. And then I sometimes like to drizzle sometimes because the dressing has such a beautiful color.
Oh, that's beautiful.
See, and you don't need to make anything else. The colors from the dressing.
It's gorgeous. Chef, thank you so much.
Thank you, Cathy. My pleasure.